Woke is what was sort of ruining everything. And I know that you're...
No, I didn't say ruining everything. I said that's...
You know, when the left starts checking itself, you're making good headway. You're winning. Watch Sunny Hostin as she defines woke. And again, they just want to say, oh, to be woke is just to be caring. But how come they don't care about us? How come they don't care about you and me? How come they don't care the mothers who lost their children? How come they don't care about the farmers who lost their industry? How come they don't care about all the industry that was shut down under the Biden administration? They don't care. They just care about their political rhetoric. Watch Bill Maher fact check Sunny Hostin. This is good.
Well, I had a different question, but it struck me that in the first segment you used the term woke, and you said that woke is what was sort of ruining everything. And I know that you're...
No, I didn't say ruining everything. I said that's why Trump could get reelected.
That's why Trump could get reelected. Yeah. So the term woke has been, in my view, co-opted by the right.
First, I want to stop right there because, see, words do matter. The truth does matter. And I love that Bill Maher fact-checked her right there because she says, you say that the woke thing ruined everything. He said, no, I didn't say that. I said that it helped to get Donald Trump reelected, right? And that's true. Because they went too far gone with this woke stuff to the point where they're not caring about Americans at all, care about everybody else except for Americans. I mean, that's really where woke went wrong. But watch how Sunny wants to scold him. And she does scold him, but she tries to keep this little bit of respect because she's like, oh my gosh, you're so smart and you're very wonderful, but let me now scold you and put you in your place because you haven't been a good Democrat. And that's their MO, right? She even says in this conversation, she says, you've changed, Bill. That's a scolding. See what she really means? You've changed, Bill. You're not following the script. You're out of the club. I'm going to give you a docket. You're out of the club, right? What she really means is like, you're telling the truth. You've changed, Bill. Yeah, it's called the truth. You should try it sometime.
But it struck me that in the first segment, you used the term woke, and you said that woke is what was sort of ruining everything. And I know that you're...
No, I didn't say ruining everything. I said that's why Trump could get reelected.
That's why Trump could get reelected. Yeah. So the term woke has been, in my view, co-opted by the right and weaponized and bastardized. And so I was surprised to hear you use the term because historically, as you know, because I think you're quite brilliant, that woke is a word used by the Black community to know that we must be aware of social injustices.
But words migrate.
So why is that a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing, and originally that was absolutely a great thing. Alert to injustice, who's not for that? But words do migrate. Now, I'll use any term you want, because maybe that is a word that's triggering, and so let's not use that word. I don't know. Want to call it the super far left? Well, you did it. I was a guest on what was the homeless show? Comic Relief.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
You were great show.
Yeah.
And homeless was a term that I thought we kind of came up with because people were calling them bums and vagrants and hobos.
Yeah, now that's
homeless. Now, no.
It's unhoused.
Well, it's people experiencing homelessness.
I almost thought Sunny Hostin was joking for a moment. She's unhoused, but that's really true. See, and they're always changing the goalposts. They are in charge. They will tell you when it's appropriate and how things are appropriate and what to say and what words to say. And that's exactly what Bill Maher's point is about them going too woke. It's like you're walking on eggshells all the time. You're blaming everybody else for your feelings. And that's not what the United States has stood on. It stood on we all get an opportunity. Take yourself to wherever you want to go. Be independent. Be an independent thinker. But because of this woke stuff, you're not allowed to. You're not even allowed to think. You're not even allowed to say homeless now. You're going to get in trouble. The homeless police, Sunny Hostin, is going to come out as if she's really caring about the homeless problem.
But they're experiencing it on the street.
Yeah.
Okay. The liberal view of that was, for compassion's sake, we're the liberals. We're compassionate. Let's get these people off the street. Yeah. That's not the view of the whatever word we're going to come up with for this. Their view of the homeless is they're an endangered species that needs to be protected in their natural habitat, living their best life under a bridge. Yeah. That to me is crazy. That's the kind of things I haven't changed on that. I still think we should get these people off the street. That's the compassion sake. So I didn't change, they changed, and there's lots of examples of that. Mm-hmm. See, I think we're tribal now, which is not good, and I think there's 4 tribes basically, there's old school liberals, which I would mostly count myself as, old school conservatives. There's still some of those
You've
left.
changed, though.
Wait, what are the other two?
Go ahead.
What are the other two?
Well, that's what I. Well, that's what I was.
Did you catch that? Did you hear that scolding? You've changed, Bill. Yeah, it's called the truth, Sonny. It's just the truth. And did you hear him? You feel him like sort of take that shot? You've changed. You're not being a good Democrat. You're not falling in line. I'm disappointed in you, Bill. Watch.
What are the other two?
I think there's 4 tribes. Basically, there's old school liberals, which I would mostly count myself as, old school conservatives. There's still some of those
You've
left.
changed, though.
Wait, what are the other two?
Go ahead.
Well,
What are the other two?
Well, that's what I. Well, that's what I was trying to find out in this book. I don't think
Yeah.
I have. And you know, we were saying in the break, we have to come up with a new word for woke. Let's have a contest because this.
See, here's the thing I respect about Bill Maher is that he's still discovering, at least. He's still asking questions and discovering. He was willing to go to the White House and have dinner with President Trump, even though he totally disagrees with mainly everything about President Trump. But he was respectful and honored. And like, you know what? He asked me to come. I'm going to come. I'm going to extend that cherry branch or whatever kind of branch, right? I mean, that's what I respect about people like him is that they're willing to have a conversation. Sonny has already decided, see, ahead of time. It's like a bad actor. You know, I teach acting and it's like bad acting when a bad actor, and sometimes they're good professional actors, but bad meaning they're not connected from their heart. They're not going to move you. They're not going to change your life because you can feel this disconnect. They might be a really pretty face. They might be like Sonny Hostin. You know, it's like a pretty face, but they're just empty inside. They're just reading lines because they're not connected from their heart, from their impulses. They're reading a script. And it seems like Sonny is so far gone. She's just reading a script at this point instead of connecting from her heart. Bill Maher, on the other hand, is still discovering things. She doesn't have it all figured out. Sonny thinks she has it all figured out. She's the expert and she'll scold you on everything and on every subject. And that's why they lost this election, because they weren't curious about what real farmers were going through. They weren't curious about why the vast majority, and they still aren't, vast majority of Americans voted for Donald Trump. They're not curious about that. Instead, they just want to condescend and scold half the country.